getting started.
Perfect.
All right, so I guess the first thing that I want to do for the interview is
Okay.
just tell me who you are, your position,
Okay.
what you do here, and how you got started.
Okay. So I'm Amanda Sorrells. I'm the Director of Entrepreneurship here at the North Carolina Rural Economic Development Center. So what I do is a very wide variety of stuff. So I help one-on-one coaching with individuals that want to start or expand their business in a rural county in North Carolina. I then have a micro enterprise loan program that I direct where of individuals that are not bankable or couldn't go out and get capital for their business from a small business lender or the bank. They would come to us and we provide technical assistance and a small loan to get them up and going or expansion of their business. And of course, all this is for the 80 rural counties of North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do community development, so helping small towns be more entrepreneurial, welcome entrepreneurs, really create that service pipeline for small business owners and entrepreneurs throughout the state. So that's kind of short enough what I do. I mean, we have two one-on-one coaching programs here at the center that really works with, one of them works with 18 to 30-year-olds, and the other one works with dislocated workers that like to start or expand their business. That's the one-on-one coaching. And then our community development, we just started, we're 2 years into it. So 2 years into where we've working with 8 small towns throughout the state and creating this business support pipeline and, helping them community develop, be more entrepreneurial. And then we just got a grant from USDA. We'll be working with regions, 3 regions throughout the state to help them start and, supporting and creating this pipeline and value chain for agricultural businesses. And we're kind of using that loosely, whether it's farmers, value-added producers. So those are our kind of community development products. But that's what I do here at the center. I started here at the center almost 5 years ago as a counselor, helping with the 18 to 30-year-olds, helping them, start or expand. So I shouldn't say counselor, it should be more of a coach. So with those programs, we really help one-on-one, whether it's helping develop a business plan, putting them in helping them with their QuickBooks. But we really partner with the small business centers. There's 58 small business centers around the state, and they're located in the community college. So we partner with them to make sure that the clients are getting all the resources that they need. And then we also give them training scholarships. So if there's that QuickBook class that they need to take, or I had a lady that had been baking for years but never any real formal training, we helped pay for a class to help build and better her skills in which. So that's where I kind of started, and it's just escalated since then. So that is what I do.
Cool. So one thing that I was thinking about while you were talking about all this, getting people started in their businesses.
Mm-hmm.
So from the people that you've helped in your experiences here, what are the successful people doing differently from the people who aren't successful at getting their startups going?
Right. So there's 2 different kind of, one, I have clients that are go-getters. They're on top of things. They're putting their skin in the game. They are really, vetting resources out there. They are the ones that I don't have to tell, okay, you need to go and do this. You need to, they're really creating their pathway. I'm just helping guiding them along the way. I've had all my clients have been like that and been very successful. They're always thinking a step forward. In order to be a successful entrepreneur, you got to plan ahead and you got to keep thinking ahead, because otherwise, your business is going to bottom out. You've always got to think ahead and think the next steps, the what ifs. So my clients like that. And then clients that are realistic. I like the bootstrapper method. Work what you got, grow organically if you can. I mean, if you need to take some small debt on, that's perfectly fine, but making sure that you are really looking organically and growing within your means in order for this business. And, a lot that are really planning it out and thinking forward and being strategic. Those have been, the great success stories. The people that are coming in, I want to create this studio with all this equipment, but I have no money coming in. That's more likely not going to be successful in the long run. And looking at trends and looking at, your customer base, where you plan on locating your business. Everyone, like I said, that I've worked with that have been successful has always 3 steps ahead, but they're still, guiding through the pathway of entrepreneurship and being a small business owner.
So I guess maybe sometimes feeling like you're behind is a good thing because it means you've got business coming in and you need to catch up.
Exactly. But sometimes you gotta take that step back and just kind of regroup. So, yeah.
What types of businesses are people looking to do in the rural setting versus the urban?
A lot of our clients are service-based businesses. Hands-on skills, whether it being, selling value-added products, to landscaping, lawn mowing, doing, haircuts, stuff like that. It's, a lot of it is service, that service industry, and and then on top of that, retail with value-added products. But it's basically skills that they've been using their whole life, but how can they make money with that? So we have a lot of, like I said, lawn, mowers, and we do loans for those, and then trucking. It's just individuals that have been doing it for a while and growing with it. So,
as far as the people who are going through this program, what do you think that the success rate is? Like if you had to put it into a percentage or something like that?
Well, and it just depends. I don't think, so with micro, it's been one of the longest programs here at the Rural Center. So micro is our loan program. A lot with my clients, as far as the 18 to 30-year-olds and dislocated workers, success rate is hard. It is, especially in the first few years of being a small business owner. But a lot of my clients are still pushing it and still getting it, but it's those clients that are really working with what they have and what they've got, and then progressively working up. I don't know if I could put a percentage on everyone that's successful, because I think that if they're achieving their goals as a small business owner and still up and going in 2 years, that's successful.
Absolutely.
But we've had a lot of great success stories with these programs. But a lot of what our job is to do, and connecting to all these resources in the Small Business Center, is pointing them. I don't want to say setting them up to see if it's going to fail or not, but it is kind of like that, like checklists, like what emergencies might come up, what have you planned about this, have you thought about this, have you, what strategy would you do if this happened? So we try to help them be as successful as possible. That.
So this class that I'm in right now is a entrepreneurial marketing class. And so right now I've got a lot on my mind about different ways to market to your target audience or your ideal client is one of the things that we talk about. What kind of networking and marketing, processes or tactics do you recommend or are your clients out there doing?
So a lot, everybody always says that, but a lot of my clients, they do social media because of the age group they're in, and then also word of mouth. A lot of my clients, their number one strategy in marketing, and there's a whole different, depending on the industry that you're getting into, marketing strategies and tools for marketing, but, especially in rural North Carolina, small towns, business and word goes a long way. So if you are, being successful, if you're, customer oriented and selling good product or providing good services, everyone's going to hear about that. So a lot of what I tell my clients is, okay, this is great that you're doing social media. This is great that you're, doing email blasts. It's great that you're walking around with your T-shirt on with your business name on the back of it. But if you don't have great representation and you don't present yourself well as a business owner professionally, then that's, going to be huge and, put impact on you. But, it just depends on what industry and what, if they're doing business online versus, consulting one-on-one. But I think that, word of mouth and being professional and, business, attitude and representation is huge, yeah.
And I do like what you're saying about professionalism, because I do think that people while it's not out there a whole lot, I think people do place a high value on how they're treated whenever they go somewhere to purchase a product, or how they're treated whenever they go to get a service done, or if someone's coming to them to perform a service. I feel like that's a little underrepresented, especially in business classes.
Right, and it's especially, I don't want to say our generation, but, younger generation, that's not, because, I never took when I was getting MBA, I never took a professionalism class, and, really getting into the work, environment. Thank goodness my parents were, taught me that stuff, but, it's needed, and it's not only in the way you represent yourself, but, your writing, the way that you handle certain situations. If you sell something and the customer doesn't like it, how do you handle after that? So it's just, that whole professional environment all the way around. So it's huge and a key that I try to teach my clients. So.
All right, so I guess the final thing, what is your one piece of advice that you would give to someone who was wanting to do a startup?
Plan. I mean,
and plan how far? For how far? Just for foreseeable future, or plan for the unforeseen?
Well, as an entrepreneur, everything is going to change. Like, today you could be doing something and something happened the next day. You might need to change up and do something else. You have to be open-minded. You have to be completely, because things are going to come up and that you did not plan for, and how are you going to do it? You always kind of got to be on your toes. I had one entrepreneur that was, he's a great guy, very successful. He says, I look at my business plan once a month, and I made copies of what used to be to what is now, and he's like, I kind of laugh at it because I've changed avenues so much, but everything that you plan for is not always going to work. But what's the next strategy? How do you need to mold into what your current situation is? So it doesn't have to be, you need to plan 5 years ahead. Plan for the foreseeable future right in front of you, short-term foreseeable future, but keeping that in mind, not everything is going to work out what's on pen and piece of paper. You're going to have to make it work. You're going to have to think strategically, and work with what you got, and how can you make that work. So that's one of my, it's great to reach for the goals. You can definitely reach for your goals and stars and stuff, but take steps in order to get there, and build your resources, build your network. One of my, everyone that I always talk with, I'm like, you might consider me an expert, but I'm not an expert. I'm always learning, and I have a resource and network of people around me. If I don't know something, I can reach out to someone else.
Right.
And that's, what a lot I tell my clients is, working with you, but I don't know everything. So that's why I need a partner with the Small Business Center or the Women's Business Center or the Small Business Technical Development Center, because what I don't know, I can reach out to and I can find out. So, really know your resources, know what's available for you, build that partnership behind you to help out. There's all these resources there to help you start your business. So definitely use them. And I think that's helped, a lot of my clients be successful. And we're not competing for clients back and forth. We want to make sure that all our clients are successful. So it's great when clients really reach out and do that.
There is one more question that it was the main question I wanted to ask
Okay.
while I was here, and I forgot about it.
Okay.
So do you see business startups in the rural areas impacting the economy?
I do. I mean,
increasing like economic level?
yeah, I mean, if you look at rural North Carolina, if you go on Main Street, a lot of there's not, I mean, you might see a Dollar General now these days or something, a Walgreens, but a lot of them are homegrown businesses. And they're the ones creating jobs. There might be, less than one individual might, hire less than 10 people, but those are jobs created and they are putting back to the community. So they are. Since the textile industry and, has left, North Carolina, it is, small businesses are the engine to rural North Carolina. So yes, I do. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to